Trash talking is a big part of basketball culture. And we surely love to see it.
I poke bears.
Sometimes it goes right and sometimes it goes horribly wrong.
Freaking bum.
Michael Jordan would be a prime example for successful trash talking.
Trash talking starts when it's 0-0.
As he always humiliated his opponents after talking smack. On the other hand, there are cases like Dillon Brooks.
I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
Someone who's about to lose his place in the NBA simply because he talks too much and acts too little.
Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao!
So today we are going to discover the best and worst trash talkers in NBA history.
The drive, the floater, got it! Look at that! Wow! And B going out.
Later on, we have to talk about the trash talking GOATs like Larry Bird, MJ or Kevin Garnett. But now let's start with Kobe, because the Mamba surely had a venomous tongue sometimes. Kobe Bryant is widely regarded as one of the fiercest competitors to have ever played the game. He talked trash to opponents, coaches, his own teammates, and also silenced the spectators with his witty comebacks.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
He would do it while remaining so calm. It caused his opponents to fear Kobe. Here are some of the classic Black Mamba moments. In a February 2012 game against the Lakers, the young stars of OKC, Kevin Durant and James Harden, tried to poke beer when they got into it with Kobe. Kobe put the future MVPs in their places by saying, "Maybe one day they'll be able to sit at my lunch table." Another great example was Kobe against Tony Parker. Bryant spoke Italian and Spanish during his NBA career. But he took his Mamba mentality to another level and learned French just so he could talk trash to Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs. That's right, Kobe learned whole new languages just so he could talk smack to his opponents. But what's most iconic about the Mamba is not what comes out of his mouth, but the way he steps on the court. Everyone who doubted Kobe witnessed his killer look, his cold gestures, and finally his unstoppable basketball skills. Just look at how Kobe doesn't even flinch. In the end, his enemies get completely humiliated, and that's why Kobe is one of the best trash talkers in NBA history. But for every good example, there is a negative one. And for Devin Booker, his trash talking backfired horribly in multiple scenarios. To start with, the first instance was when he decided to take on Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns squared off in the playoffs in 2022, and the Suns guard was relentless with his chirping, including making fun of Doncic's actions when fouled. Then came the Slovenian with a fitting reply, putting up 35 points, 10 rebounds and 4 assists, compared to Booker, who only mastered 11 points, 3 boards and 2 assists. Finally, the Mavericks won in 7 games and Doncic had the last laugh. Up next was a skirmish between Klay Thompson and Booker, with the latter trying to get into the sharpshooter's head. Note that these two have had a history since last year, and by the looks of it, Thompson's not one to forget easily, as he took Booker's digs in his stride and put up a solid show.
Could mean a great deal as Thompson hits another one. That's a 7-3.
This resulted in a scintillating 38-point performance from the Warriors star to torch Booker and the Suns 123-112. Trust Booker to take on a man who's seen his share of trash talk and then dishing it out. Conclusively, Devin Booker might be a great player, but when it comes to shitstorming, he is one of the worst trash talkers in NBA history, as things seem to always backfire for him. So if you don't want to end up like Devin Booker, you better subscribe to this channel. It would help me out a lot. But now let's continue with the positive example. Because Shaq dropped some sharp words too. Shaquille O'Neal was the ultimate Renaissance man. Not only was he one of the most dominant players in the history of the league, but he could also rap, be in low quality movies, be a police officer, earned his PhD, make reality television and talk trash. Basically, the only thing he couldn't do was hit free throws. In games, he was known to make comments to opponents to get in their heads. With his playful personality, it is unlikely that his words were ever too harsh, but they no doubt helped him on the court. And like a true trash talker, he didn't limit his words to the court. In his Kobe rap, not only does he insult Kobe, but he also takes a shot at the ringless Patrick Ewing. With Shaq, it's all in fun, but that doesn't mean his words didn't still ring.
The Lakers have two. Bryant to Shaq.
Unfortunately, there's one guy who does not know how to trash talk, but he still does. And he goes by the name of Dillon Brooks. In fact, it goes so far to the point where his NBA career is in danger just because this guy can't shut his mouth. Dillon Brooks spent the better part of the month talking trash to perhaps the NBA's most dangerous target, LeBron James. He pegged James and the Lakers as his preferred first round opponent because he wanted to knock him out right away.
Knock him out right away.
He called James old and argued that he doesn't respect anyone until they come and give me 40.
I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
He even got himself ejected from Game 3 for hitting James in the groin. So how did that work out for Brooks? Not well. The Lakers won in 6 games and by a final score of 125-85. That's a margin of exactly 40 points. Moreover, Brooks was fined $25,000 for not speaking to the media after games 3, 4 and 6. It's okay to poke the bear sometimes, just for fun or to get a mental advantage. But you should be more careful with your target selection. Because if you can't even perform like an NBA All-Star and the playoff series is on the line, you definitely shouldn't be talking trash to one of the greatest players in NBA history, LeBron James. This backfired horribly for Dillon Brooks. Not only did the Grizzlies lose the series, but the team said that they don't want Brooks on their team anymore. And I don't see why any other team would want him. Therefore, this makes Dillon one of the worst trash talkers in NBA history. But things are only starting to get more interesting, because we still haven't talked about Michael Jordan. MJ was an absolute savage when it came to trash talking. He not only destroyed his opponents every night, but he let them know how inferior they were to him by roasting them before, during and after the game. Some players trash talked Jordan because they thought they could beat him, but MJ was a guy who took things to heart and ultimately performed even better and did everything to prove the smack talkers wrong. Back in his prime, it was a good idea to let Michael be, but these guys learned it the hard way. In his rookie season, Reggie Miller played against Jordan and Chicago Bulls in an exhibition game. Miller was outscoring Jordan 10-4 at the end of the first half when he decided it would be a good idea to talk trash to MJ. He went to Jordan and said, "Who do you think you are? There's a new kid in town." Jordan just nodded his head and didn't say a thing. By the end of the game, Jordan had 44 points and Reggie Miller had 12. After the game, Jordan said, "Be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus like that." Another example was MJ on Nick Anderson. Jordan was so savage that he told his defenders what he's going to do and then actually did it. He got into his opponent's head and played infinite mind games. Nick Anderson fell victim to Jordan's verbal attack. Jordan told Anderson, "I'm coming down. I'm going to dribble between my legs twice. I'm going to pump fake and then I'm going to shoot a jumper. And then I'm going to look at you." And guess what? That's exactly what Jordan did.
Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
This list of the NBA's greatest trash talkers would not be complete without Kevin Garnett. There are just so many instances involving Kevin Garnett that I don't even know where to start. There's him taunting Joe's 𝘾𝙩𝙣 while guarding the quick guard full court. Then there's his post-block ritual. And then there are those stories of Garnett allegedly crossing the line. He apparently called 𝘾𝙨 Villanueva a cancer patient, but then clarified that he really called him a cancer to his team. Yikes. Then there's this most recent incident of Garnett allegedly saying Carmelo Anthony's wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. These incidents are so outlandish and over the line that they almost have to be true. But that is the ruthless nature of Kevin Garnett. He will say and do anything to win, even cross the line and make a lot of enemies. While what he does may be morally wrong, it does help him win basketball games.
Up top to Garnett. Garnett for the win. Puts it in at the buzzer. It breaks the hearts of the Knicks fans here today.
We have one more person to go, and this time it's an even older pal. And his name is Larry Bird. Where do we even start with Larry? He was a trash-talking menace. He didn't cross the line like Kevin Garnett. He simply got in his opponent's head and backed up everything he said. The above video is the perfect example. He told poor Xavier McDaniel exactly how he was going to hit the game-winning shot, and there was nothing McDaniel could do to stop it. That may be my favorite story of Larry Legend talking trash, but here are a few other close seconds. Before the first 3-point shooting contest, Larry went into the locker room and just quietly looked around, until someone asked him what he was doing. And he replied that he was trying to figure out who was going to come in second. In a later 3-point contest, Larry was behind, but proceeded to hit his remaining few shots to tie it, and as he released the money ball for the win, he turned and put his finger in the air before it went in. And surprise surprise, it hit nothing but net. Against Dennis Rodman, he would call for the ball while getting smothered by Rodman, claiming he was open. Then he would get the ball, hit the shot and tell the opposing coach that Rodman was making it too easy by not covering him. With those stories, there's no denying that Bird was in a class of his own for trash talking. I don't think there will ever be another player quite as good at trash talking as Larry Bird. Who's your trash talking goat? Write a comment if you like. But players are not only talking trash about other players, but also about this new basketball. That's right, Wilson released a new basketball that is airless and has holes in it. So check out this video about why these new basketballs will not make the NBA. You can go now, since this video is over. Seriously, just click the video. I'll see you there.